Hello there, and welcome to a reading of this week's newsletter in the VIP Readers Club by author Michael Campling, which is me, OBVS. And the title of this piece is Finishing Books, Fitness, Flapjack, and the Finesse of Feedback, with the subtitle Recent Events Have Almost All Been Alliterative. So let's have a bit of fun even with the title and the subtitle of these things. Okay, I will launch into the reading of it. In the eyes of those who anxiously seek perfection, a work is never truly completed, a word that has for them no... Oh, excuse me, I misread that. A word that for them has no sense but abandoned. Paul Valéry. And I did check, and although various versions of that quote have existed, that was the original, although that is, of course, a translation because the original was in French. So as I feel I've rather lost the sense of it, in the eyes of those who anxiously seek perfection, a work is never truly completed, a word that for them has no sense but abandoned. That's better. For today's quote, I have my tongue firmly in my cheek. I guess I'm not one of those who anxiously seek perfection, because I'm generally happy to declare a book finished, pat it on the head, and send it out into the world. Oh, I could tinker with a manuscript for days and months, and when I started writing, that's what I did. The process taught me a lot, but since then, a fair number of readers have come along, and I'm not one to keep everybody waiting while I fuss over commas and semicolons. When the story is done, let it be done. That's what I say. But I listened to comments from readers, and the latest round of beta reading was, as always, fascinating. The nuts and bolts of writing a book is the kind of thing I talk about in my behind the scenes videos, which I produce as bonus material for paying members. The recent talk was about style and voice and the rules I give myself in writing. I'll pop a link below for any paying members who missed it because I didn't record the video as usual. I set up a live stream and I mucked it up. Apologies about the emails that went out when I started the live stream on Friday. The emails just said I was going live and prompted people to upgrade. That wasn't what I wanted. I thought I was notifying the paying members, but the email went out to everyone. My mistake. Sorry if that was annoying for you. I will endeavour to be more careful next time. But if you wanted to see it, here it is. Paying members can watch it all. Everyone else can see a 3-minute preview if they wish. This kind of post is an optional extra for those who want it or those who want to offer a bit more financial support. The vast majority of the material I send out via email will always be free, and that includes the readings I've started recording, such as this one. And then there's a link to the latest behind the scenes live section, which, as I say, just as a little aside, yeah, I ticked a box that said email. It just said email subscribers or something, and I thought, great, that'll be the people who've paid, so they're expecting this stuff. So I'll obviously let them know that it's underway, and it sent out an email to everybody. I did not know it was going to do that. I think I made a similar mistake before, unfortunately, but hopefully it is all sunk in. On with the regular stuff. Featured photos. It doesn't really work very well as a reading, but I will tell you the pieces that go with each photo, and I guess you'll have to refer back to this version, the text version, if you want to see them. Mrs. C and I, along with a few neighbours from the village, went to see a local amateur dramatic performance of Murdered to Death, a humorous take on the murder mystery. You can imagine why I was keen to see it. The play was fun, and the amateur actors did very well. As you can see above, if you go look at the original text post, the set was nicely done too. How these folks find time to put a play together, I have no idea. Fun was had by all, and I didn't guess who'd done it. There's a picture of me having in my running attire. It says, if you're keeping up with my running, pun intended, you'll know I gave myself an injury, but I'm pleased to say that the rehab worked and I completed the Great West Run, a half marathon in Exeter. Very pleased with that, as you can probably tell. I recently wrote a piece about serendipity and getting lost, and true to form, Mrs. C and I were staying with family in Cheltenham when we went out for an exploratory run. We found ourselves near the airfield, and as luck would have it, we discovered a small cafe serving customers who like to sit and watch the planes and helicopters come and go. We don't usually stop for refreshments, but this felt like one of those opportunities you have to take. The cafe doesn't look much from the outside, but it was very nice inside, everything spotless, and the woman in charge told us she bakes all the cakes at home. I admire that kind of enterprising spirit, and there was proper coffee and vegan flapjacks, so in the spirit of Dan and Alan, we stopped to sample both. Exercise doesn't have to be all sackcloth and ashes, and we set off for the run back to town, revived and refreshed. If you'd like to see me reading the piece about getting lost, it's here, and I put a link to the reading of The Lost Art of Getting Lost. More photos soon. Until then, happy reading. And now I've included a snippet of A Study in Stone, the new 2025 version. So a little bit of introduction to it. Dan and Alan are on their first trip to Exeter, and Dan is getting lost. I hope you like it, but please bear in mind that this isn't the final draft. I should set the scene. They're in a second-hand bookshop where Alan has gone in to peruse the books, and he can't find one that he wants. Seizing an opportunity, Dan said, "We should try somewhere else. I'm sure I saw one or two bookshops just now, and on the way we can stop for that coffee I promised you." Alan nodded wisely. "I see. You couldn't find the coffee shop you were so keen on, and now you want me to come and help." "Something like that," Dan admitted with a rueful smile. "I don't think my phone's GPS works in some of these narrow streets. But don't worry about it. If you don't want to go for coffee, that's fine. I'll work something out. I'll give you my number and you can call me when you're ready to head home. I'll meet you in the car park." "All right." They swapped numbers, then Dan took a step back. "Okay, I'll see you later." "If that's what you want," Alan replied. "You know, I've a good mind to let you go off on your own. Is it really so hard to admit you need help?" "Yes, it bloody well is," Dan thought. "You don't know the half of it." But he raised his hands in mock surrender. "Let me start again. I'd appreciate it if you'd help me find the coffee shop. And when we get there, I'll pay for the snacks. Apparently the chocolate brownies are fantastic." "Brownies, eh? Why didn't you say so in the first place? Come on then. What are we waiting for?" Before Dan could reply, Alan headed for the door. Waiting, Dan thought. Me? Never. And he hurried after him. That's the end of that little snippet. I think that's the end of that chapter. Signing off. Well, I doubt very much whether this email is perfect, but it's time to abandon it. I hope it kept you entertained for a while. All the best and have a great weekend. Happy reading and take care. Mikey. Me. And I just put a note to say, please feel free to share this piece. If you share the VIP Readers Club and someone signs up, you'll be rewarded with a complimentary period of paid membership and also with my thanks for spreading the word. So yeah, you can share it. And if you don't want the sort of paid membership, I don't think you have to accept it, but it gives you some extra content, some like the behind the scenes content, for instance, and it lets you leave comments and join in the chat for a while. And then when the complimentary period runs out, you just go back to normal. It doesn't, you don't have to pay any more or anything, you don't have to pay anything at all. It's just complimentary and it lasts for a little while. Depending on how many people you refer and how many people sign up. So, no obligation whatsoever, but it's kind of, it's the system is there. So I thought it's something I offer because it's possible to do so. But that's it. I do hope you have a great weekend and thanks very much for watching and for listening. And if you are one of those paying subscribers, you're thinking about it, thank you very much. It really does make a big difference. And appreciate it all. It's all encouragement and support, and it helps keep the lights on and the computers whirring and the keyboard clacking. So thanks again, and thanks to everybody. Take care, look after yourselves. I'll say goodbye. Bye.